Okay, welcome back. We are moving along in Chapter 3, and this video deals with the section that's called Graphics in the Media, which is Section 3. And what you want to walk away with after reading this section is that graphs can be very complicated. They can have many different ways. There are what we call a stacked plot and multiple bar graphs. There are 3D graphs. Pretty interesting stuff. So I know that you're going to take the time and look over these. And I'm just going to go over one more simpler example. And again, these are the types of examples and problems that you'll see as you get ready to take your test. So here we go. Consider the accompanying display of salaries of males and females for a particular region in recent years. Complete parts A and B below. So here's our chart. Okay, so we have a caption up here, median salary by gender. And on the horizontal axis, we have years, starting with 2001, going up to 2010. And on the vertical axis, we have median salaries, starting at 0 and going up to $45,000. Notice that we have a table here, an index, and it says that blue stands for male and burgundy stands for female. And just a visual look at this, I feel like that the blue bars are always seem to be taller than the burgundy bars. Yeah, they're always taller. And they're growing up. They're starting at 35,000 and going up. And the females seem to have started back in 2001 with pretty much equal, but they've been declining. So in recent years, there's a big gap between these two. Let's go ahead and read our choices. What story does the graph tell? A. The graph shows that females consistently have much higher median salaries than males. Both males and female salary steadily decrease over time. What do you think? I agree with you. That one's not right. B. The graph shows that males consistently have much higher median salaries than females. Sounds good. Males' salaries increase over time and female salaries decrease over time. Now I like that one, but before I choose it, I'm going to read the other choices. C. The graph shows that males consistently have much higher median salary than females. Both males and female salaries steadily decrease over time. No, the males went up, so it's not that one. D. The graph below shows that females consistently have much higher median salaries than males. Male salaries increase over time and female salaries decrease over time. Now there's some truth and some fallacy there. The females don't have the higher, so it couldn't be D. So I feel pretty confident in choosing B for our answer. Okay, so now it says redraw the graph as a multiple two-line chart. Choose the correct graph below. Okay, so if we recall, we've got the males are going up. Let's look at this one. The male salaries went up and the female salaries went down, and they kind of started at the same place. So this shows both of them going down. So that doesn't appear to be the right one. Now here, I like this one. You can see the female salaries are decreasing and the male salaries are going up, and they both started about the same place. And it looks like D is very similar to that. So I wonder what the difference are between these two. Let's pull this one up. So the shape of it looks right. Guys started at about 35,000 and ended a little shy of 45. And gals started at 32,000 and ended a little shy or a little above 25. Let me look at that original one. Big is big. Take a look at that B again. Well, you know what? I think the difference between B and D is that we've got the colors reversed, right? This has the burgundy on the top and this has the blue on the top. So the correct choice here has to be B. Okay. Now let's see what the second question is. It's going to ask us, briefly discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the two different representations of the particular data set. So let's read them over. A, the bar graph makes it easier to examine the trend over time. The line graph is less cluttered, so the information is easier to understand and interpret. B, the bar graph makes it easier to examine the trend over time. Also, the bar graph is less cluttered, so the information is easier to understand and interpret. So the difference between those two is that the first one says the line chart is less cluttered and the second one says the bar chart is less cluttered. So far, I think the line chart is less cluttered. Let's look at C. The line chart makes it easier to examine the trend over time. Also, the line graph is less cluttered, so the information is easier to understand and interpret. And D, the line chart makes it easier to examine the trend over time. The bar chart is less cluttered, so the information is easier to understand and interpret. So let's look at these two again and then make our decision. So this is the line chart. I think it is easier to see the trend over time and it looks less cluttered versus this one. You can see the trend, but it's not as easy and it's more cluttered. So I'm going to say C, the line chart makes it easier to examine the trend over time and it's also less cluttered. Yay. End of this question. We'll be moving on to the next section and that will wrap up the questions for this chapter. See you then.